Welcome to Sermons on the Side. I'm Brad.
And I'm Richard.
And life can move pretty fast, so we're here to slow down, dig deep, and find the story hidden in everyday moments.
With years spent in ministry, friendship, and navigating real life together, we're all about blending humor, honesty, and faith into conversations that meet you right where you are.
So whether you're brand new or you're back for more, we are so glad you are here.
So relax, listen in, and let's discover meaning together.
In the ordinary, the messy, and everything in between.
Sermons on the Side, finding meaning in the everyday.
Chick-fil-A, by the way, I will get through this story, I promise. It's the
you're doing fine.
It's the only restaurant that, like, you know, you go through a restaurant and you get an order and they mess it up and you're like, you're just in a bad mood the rest of the day.
Yeah.
If you go through the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A and they mess up your order, you're not in a bad mood. You want to know why? Because in my mind, I'm like, they know what I need more than I do. You know, I just trust them more than I surrender. You know what? I did not need that nugget tray. I needed this wrap. Thank you very much. I don't know where I'm going with this story.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 28 of Sermons on the Side. Can you believe, Brad? And yes, I'm sitting right across the table from the Brad Williams.
How are you, sir?
And I got to tell you, what do you think about this? 28 episodes. Can you believe it?
I can.
Pinch
and
myself.
On to 28 more, you know? Road to 40. I don't do math in public. Dadgummit. 56.
Oh,
boy. This is why.
Can we edit that out? No, we can't. Not gonna do it.
Dude.
I've been waiting since episode...
There we go with math again.
When did we... Jason Dennis.
Oh, that was episode 20.
Right. No. Was it? Yeah, and then Darcy. Gee whiz.
Yeah, Jay at 10.
This is horrible.
Jason at 20, and then Darcy at 25. And oh, by the way, another really incredible guest coming up at 30. You'll have to come back, or if you're just listening to 28 like months later, you can just pause this episode and go listen to episode 30 now. But don't do that. Listen to this whole episode. Welcome. Kick your feet up unless you're driving. Lock into the road and let's enjoy this time together. Richard, how are you, man?
Man, I'm doing well. And man, it has been fun getting this little block of episodes ready for our Sermons on the Side.
I know.
Listeners.
So I have a question for you. How is the beach?
Well, I'm not on the beach. I'm in Orlando.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. So
Remember?
So okay. So what happened? What happened is last week. Tell me if this has ever happened to you. You're talking with your podcast co-host, and you're planning out the next.
You do.
You know. And you just start planning out the next couple of weeks, and you realize something, that you're not going to be in the same state for 15 straight days.
What?
How does that work with a weekly podcast? So yeah,
Yikes.
we've recorded some in advance. At the release of this episode, you are in Orlando with your family.
I am at a really cool place called Orange Lake. It's a nice Holiday Inn run resort-ish hotel.
Yeah. How's it going?
My mother-in-law, Glenda Massey, graciously takes the family down to every year or so. And man, just kind of sitting. The grandkids are going to Epcot.
Oh, very
today.
nice.
And
today,
yeah, it is.
I love how you're doing that.
It literally is today. And the wife and I were just hanging by the pool.
Yeah.
There's a lazy river. It is both lazy and a river. No, it's a river and I'm lazy. That's it. That's what makes it the lazy river. But anyway, really blessed to have generous vacation time with the company I work for. We kind of bundled a lot of it during the last few months. But it's been a real blessing. So.
Yeah, y'all have been go.
Yeah,
so you're in Orlando.
And where are you
this week? And so next week I will be in Daytona with a family vacation. And so, you know, we have no idea when we're recording these episodes. Thankfully, we've gotten 28 done.
What
but
day is it?
You know, who knows if 29 gets done. So I hope that there's one available for you next week. come back to find out. But anyways, yeah, cool
Man,
stuff,
this has
man.
Hey, and listen, we want to give a shout out. Now, in terms of our listeners, our Sermons on the Side listeners, we've got listeners who have been with us from day one.
Shout out.
I mean, from when we first started and that launch week back in February of 2025. And folks have just been journeying with us week by week. And then we have some of our listeners who have joined in later. And they have the I think it's kind of an advantage or kind of the cool part where if they come in late, then they can binge a lot of episodes.
Yeah, I've had people tell me that, you know.
Right? Like in the course of 1 week.
Yeah, exactly. And we see it. We see it. Man, we just released episode 28 or whatever.
Yeah.
But this past week, episodes 2, 3, 4, and 5 all got like 4 or 5 plays. And we're like,
Right.
I see y'all. Let's go.
We call it climbing the ladder or running the table. And
right.
so we just thank you, whether you've been with us from day one or you're kind of new. We just finished saying that in our little intro, but we do appreciate it. And we had a pretty cool experience with a recent addition to the Sermons on the Side family.
To the binge family.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we're talking about a couple that we both know. I attend church with them, and they know you. Clint and April Thomas.
Love them.
And their sons. And they started listening recently. And it just happened to coincide with some road trips for them.
Okay.
Which maybe there's a theme.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
But anyway, so they had a lot of road time, and they listened to a ton of episodes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Back to back. And so we appreciate, welcome to the family, Thomas gang. But April, boy, she's pretty sharp.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She listened to a lot of episodes, and just this a Sunday or so ago, she was talking to my wife and I about the episodes that she had binged, and she's bringing up specific topics from episodes. It was so cool to hear her, the excitement, and we are so grateful to all our listeners for that. And April, thank you. She asked me, we were working together we were serving together on a Sunday morning at our church, Solid Rock in Columbus, Georgia. And April had asked my wife and I, each of us, she asked my wife to go in the ladies' room and me to go in the men's room and blow out the scented candles that are lit and make the experience pleasant for everybody, whatever.
Okay.
Right? So that's kind of a thing. The last task we have before we wrap up serving coffee and refreshments is we go into the restroom, blow out those candles so the building doesn't burn to the ground.
Right. Okay.
It's a really smart thing. So, April, remember, she's a recent listener, binged all our episodes. And she says to me, hey, and my wife were standing there, and she said, did y'all get a chance to go blow out the candles in the restrooms? We said, yes, we did. And then April looks at me and said, did you check to see if the hand lotion has been refilled in the men's room? And I thought that she was just asking me about a task. And I thought, well, that's something that we'd never done before in this Sunday morning serving thing. And I looked at her and I said, is there hand lotion in the men's room? And as soon as it came out of my mouth, I saw her and she began smiling. And she said, gotcha. And tell the listeners how she got.
Oh yeah, that was the segment on episode 11, yes. And in that episode, you shared with us why on earth is there lotion in the men's room
at some restaurants?
At some restaurants, it's like we only need soap. Get the lotion out of here. Save the dollars and cents,
exactly,
or the confusing experience.
Right. And she couldn't stop laughing because she was like, I got him, and it was just the coolest thing.
That's awesome.
Because it was a funny moment. It was good that a listener kind of caught me in my own trap.
That's right.
But it was so cool that she remembered that.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
That's super cool, man. Yeah, that's happened to you a lot, you know? I feel like in your small group, you've had like some mixed desserts that are on your do not eat list.
Yes.
And that's their love language, is just janking on you with all your wild segment takes.
I will have people that will text me here in Columbus, Georgia area when it's raining. And they will say, just randomly in a day, hey, Richard, do you need an umbrella? Because the segment in our very first episode, You remember that
Umbrellas are weird.
Yeah, right. Who needs umbrellas?
Oh, my goodness.
Anyway, but listen, all of that's kind of a long story.
I loved it.
It wasn't too boring.
No, it was great.
Shout
out to Clint and April.
Yes.
Shout out to all of our listeners, whether new or old. We love you all the same.
We just do.
So normally I ask you, do you have a sermon on the side? But I'm not going to ask you that.
And so it's left to me to ask you.
I do.
Brad, do you have a sermon on the side? I do
have a sermon on the side. Yes, in fact, I am bringing you the sermon on the side today. This happened just a... Oh, yes, thank you. Right.
Dramatic music.
Wow. Okay. Dramatic music for a dramatic co-host.
Oh.
It works. So this happened a couple of weeks ago. It was on a weekend, and it has to do with my children, as a lot of my life and a lot of my stories do. So it's a very hot Saturday, and Lisa and I want to get out of the house, get the kids, but we also don't want to be underneath the blazing lava sun. And so what do? We go to a Chick-fil-A.
Like you do.
Of course. And I think, in fact, it was the Bradley Park Chick-fil-A, which had just recently opened. They moved literally next door to themselves, and we battled the traffic disaster that is Bradley Park Drive right now.
Is that... That's not necessarily because of the Chick-fil-A construction. It's up the road.
Yeah, two different things. Chick-fil-A relocated to a bigger building in a slightly better accessible area. All good there. But the Bradley Park Road is just... I don't even know how to describe it. What's the term? Isn't there a term for like this road design?
A cloverleaf.
Okay.
Now, hey, in Birmingham, all my Birmingham listeners, they have these converging interstates that over the decades they just keep adding. They literally call it Malfunction Junction.
Malfunction Junction is come to Columbus, my friends, and it is here. So we battled that, and anyways, we finally arrive at this Chick-fil-A, and we sit down at one of the booths in the very, very back, right next to the playground.
Whoa, time.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's rare now. That Chick-fil-A's keep the playgrounds. They're kind of moving away from that.
It's a coin flip on whether they have them or not. Yeah, there's some in Columbus that don't, some that do.
Good for them.
This one does.
I mean, not good for the workers who have to clean up the playground.
Well,
but
it's
good
not
for the
on account of my kids. At least it wasn't today. But yeah, so off they go. They start taking off running. I go place the order and sit down, and Lisa and I are sitting there with our youngest daughter, who's 3 months at the time, sitting in her little car seat, and we can see through the big glass panes that Bekah, our 4-year-old, and Shep, our 2-year-old, are playing on the playground.
Just rocking it.
Yeah, there's a couple other kids on the little indoor set, and they're just having a good time. Sure enough, here comes the food. The food is at our table, and Lisa and I say, "Hey, how about we just let the kids play a little bit longer? You and I get a little break in the action, and we'll go ahead and start eating. Maybe we'll finish our food, and then we can kind of be both two hands for two kids for each of us."
Wise.
That is a pro-parent move, by the way.
Yes, it is.
And Lisa just offered something, just kind of real quick, as I was staring at my healthy choices. I did the number 6. I did the grilled club.
Oh, the grilled. See,
yeah,
not fried. There you
grilled club, and I think I did fries, but. Anyways.
Okay, still.
Lisa said, "Hey, make sure you leave a little bit of fries for Bekah. Sometimes she'll eat past the fries that we got her,
Oh.
She likes to eat fries. So leave her some
gotcha.
fries." Cool, no problem.
Good call.
I don't even think I acknowledged it, though. I know I heard it, but it might have been one of those things that went in one ear and out the other. I'm not claiming that happens a lot, but I'm also not denying it. All right, I'm just saying. I just saw food, and I'm on a seafood diet right now. Seafood, eat food. You know what I'm talking about?
Much.
And so off we go to just enjoying a few minutes of lunch.
There you go.
And so we eat, and about the time that we're about halfway or 3/4 of the way done, Bekah and Shep kind of realize the food's here. "Oh, come on. All right, come on, guys. Let's go. So they come out.
Good timing.
They sit down, and Lisa and I are on the last 25% or so of our meal, and as the kids get started and we set them up, and they're just kind of doing their thing.
Right.
And the go-to kids meals are 2 Chick-fil-A nugget kids meals.
How many nuggets in the kids' meals?
There's 5 now.
Okay.
Back in the day, I used to work at Chick-fil-A.
Come on. Oh,
I got 4 years under my belt, dog.
Joel Walker, we see you.
We see you,
because you worked
JT,
with-
baby. Let's go. That's right. He won one of the bundles, didn't he?
He did.
Oh,
He won my bundle.
That's right.
Yep.
And but now he lives in Tennessee. We
Yes.
never even talked about this.
Yeah.
This is happening live on this episode.
right.
He lives in Tennessee now.
He does.
For
He's
corporate
a chaplain
chaplains?
up there. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Rocking it.
Shout out Joel Walker. I missed the crap out of you, dude. You're
Come
awesome.
on, he is awesome.
Worked with him. Anyways, back in the day, you had a 4-piece kids meal and a 6-piece kids meal.
Yeah, I do
You remember that?
Yes.
Got rid of it, and they just met
Now
in the
it's
middle
5.
at 5.
Okay.
So what are you supposed to do with your little kids? They ain't eating 5. What are you supposed to do with your big kids? They're eating more than 5.
They're not, 5's not enough. That's your problem.
The dilemma.
Gosh.
Anyways, that's not a dilemma in our house. Whatever. So 2 5-count kids nuggets meals, and then 1 we get a fruit cup, and then 1 we get a mac and cheese, and they'll split that. And then normally one of Lisa and I will get like a larger fry, and we'll split up the fries. That's why Lisa told me don't eat all your fries.
That's it.
'Cause,
Okay.
you know.
So you
see the dynamic here?
Yeah, I
You
love
got
it.
it?
That is a great strategy.
Yeah, so we just spent
Impressive.
$200 at Chick-fil-A doing all of that. We sit down. Hey, it's the Lord's chicken. We will do it. And we will do it again, and we will be happy. Chick-fil-A, by the way, I will get through this story, I promise. It's the only
you're doing fine.
It's the only restaurant that, like, you know, you go through a restaurant and you get an order and they mess it up, and you're like, you're just in a bad mood the rest of the day.
Yeah.
If you go through the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A and they mess up your order, you're not in a bad mood. You want to know why? Because in my mind, I'm like, they know what I need more than I do. You know, I just trust
it?
them
You
more than
surrender
I
to that.
surrender. You know what? I did not need that nugget tray. I needed this wrap. Thank you very much. I don't know where I'm going with this story. So you got the dynamic at the table. Dad's hungry. Dad's feasting. The kids are hungry. They are now feasting. Mom is taking care of all of us.
Yes, as is always the case.
As is always the case, especially with Lisa Williams.
Come on.
So sure enough, as Lisa had predicted, Bekah flies through her allotted assortment of French fry.
Yes.
And you know, we'll pass out, 3 or 4 to her, 3 or 4 to Shep, and then, whatever. Well, I have flown through my assortment.
You reached the bottom of that fry cup.
Just absolutely gone. I mean, the crumbs are gone. There's like 2 or 3 bites missing out of the cardboard box.
Yeah.
I mean, Coach, I was hungry. I mean, dude. And Lisa looks at me, and it's like one of those moments where, like, Bekah goes, "I'd like another fry, please." I look in my box. It's empty. I look at Bekah. She looks at me and realizes that it's empty. We both look at Mom, and Mom looks at me, and she's like, "Oh, goodness." Nobody said anything, but it's just like boom, 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 boom.
It's across the room.
And I look down at the table.
Yeah.
Bekah has eaten all of her fries.
Okay.
Shep has eaten all but 1. There's a single French fry
For the
on the entire
family.
table. And it's Shep's, okay?
Okay.
And Bekah is seeing all this boom, boom, boom. She sees the eye contact. And she starts getting emotional.
Yeah.
She is our little dramatic one. She has her daddy in her, bless her heart.
She
and,
comes by it honestly.
and she is big emotion, big expression, big tears. Everything is just big, okay? And here it comes. She it was coming.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Is there not another French fry?"
My heart is breaking as you're telling the story
And
right now.
in
I
my
want to go
mind-
get her a fry and take it to
Of
the house.
course. In my mind, I was like, all right, I'm going to just go buy a small fry, like whatever. Just But before I could get the words out of my mouth, if I'm dude, I promise you this was one of the most impactful moments of my fatherhood to this point.
What?
Shep, who's sitting right next to me in this little booth of 4,
Right.
recognizes this moment. And before I could really get anything out, he sees that his older sister is crying across the booth. He picks up his French fry. He tears it in half. He puts one back down and he holds the other one out and goes, "He go, buh." He calls his sister Bekah, buh. He goes, "He go, buh." And Lisa and I looked at each other, looked at him, looked at Bekah with this big grin on her face all of a sudden. You talk about big emotional
The
swings.
Yeah.
Just, "Thank you, Shep." And she's back to normal. She just wanted one last little French fry. She's good. Shep just shared one of his French fries. He's good. Lisa and I are looking at each other. We're not good. We are a puddle. We are, dude, I'm crying. Yes. Tears are flowing down my face. Bro, and we just sat there and we said, Sheppy, what? Oh my goodness, that was so kind. That was so nice of you to think of your sister that way. And he's, he's just like so excited. And sure enough, they eat and make a mess and we clean them up and then off they go back to the playground. But dude, I have not been able to get that moment out of my head. And this is not we're doing something right with parenting, because we are not. If y'all come be a fly on our wall, you'll realize how much more we don't have figured out than we do. And although that was very encouraging to me as a dad and as a parent, I was in that moment. In the days of kind of reflecting on it, I have been so challenged by my 2-year-old son to have this radical generosity. And that's where the sermon on the side is kind of landing right now. Okay. Is this idea of just generosity, of seeing a need and being able to fill a need. Right now at our church, we're talking about the Sermon on the Mount. And this past week, our pastor is talking about giving. Wow. And giving to the needy and giving to those around us and seeing where the need is and how we can help meet it. And man, this story with my son has just been so heavy on my heart and in a powerful way. And so I wonder right now, let's just kind of sit in that. Let's just talk about that for a second. Let's ping it back and forth. Radical generosity. What does that look like?
Man, I am blown away by this story. And gosh, I felt like I was living it as you described it. One of the things I think that makes generosity radical is not necessarily see if I can say this right, not necessarily the measurable value of what is given to a person, but how valuable it was to the person who gave it. So in other words, it's radical because it wasn't a throwaway for Shep.
That's right, because
he wanted that fry. He could have really said no. In his mind, he could have said, no, this is the way it goes at Chick-fil-A for my family. That fry was valuable to him, and he gave half of it.
That's right.
He shared it. Does that make sense? In other words, absolutely. It's not always just how it impacts the person, but what makes it radical is that it was something I wanted and I valued, and I chose to either give or share it or what have you.
That's right. And it'd be one thing if mom or dad asked him, Sheppy, would you be okay with sharing with Bekah? And him saying yes, and that being incredibly sweet and kind great. And awesome. Sure. That big win there. That's generosity, okay? That's kindness, okay? But radical generosity, this idea that we're proposing right now, is not being asked, proactively seeking those opportunities of sacrifice and self-giving. Yes. And nobody asked him. It didn't even cross my mind that he would, and for that to happen. And, I want to be really careful for the next few minutes. Because in Scripture, in this Sermon on the Mount, as Jesus is talking about giving to the needy, he does present this idea of, hey, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Don't be like the Pharisees that give to showboat. It's absolutely. The purpose is to bring glory on themselves, right?
Look at me and how
that's
much
not
I'm
self-sacrifice.
Giving.
They've received their reward, right?
That's what Jesus said.
Yeah.
Right?
And so I'm gonna leave out a ton of details, and so I don't mean to be vague or whatever. But over the last few months, let's just say, my wife and myself and our family have had the opportunity to do this very thing that we're talking about. And there was something that was in my possession that has been in my possession for a very long time, and I have loved it, and it's just been so awesome.
Something valuable, highly valuable.
Yeah,
to you,
yeah,
right?
Monetarily, emotionally. It was special to our family, and the Lord has intersected my family with another family, and there was an opportunity to sit across the Chick-fil-A table. And to break off a French fry and to give it selflessly to someone else. And it's been one of the most beautiful things that the Lord has allowed me to be a part of in this season of life. And so this idea of generosity, of radical generosity, I think is just so prevalent on my heart. And, you know, oftentimes with these sermons on the side, we'll present this idea and we're like, hey, guys, tell us, you know, shoot us a message, send us something on social media, tell us what you did. That's not going to happen this week.
No, because
that's not going to happen at all.
Yeah.
But I'm absolutely going to ask you to pray and to engage and to respond, because right now, even as you're listening, I just believe that there are people that the Lord is pinging you. You know exactly what, you know exactly who, you know exactly how, because the Holy Spirit is he's not a confusing God, okay?
Yes.
And I want to encourage you, what if you responded in obedience? What if you took that leap of faith and said, I don't understand, because it's not adding up. It doesn't, radical giving will have a sense of sacrifice. It will have a sense of, you know, I don't know how else to say that.
It will feel it.
You will.
It's not I've got plenty of these French fries, I'll toss a few over there, and it really doesn't impact me. It's a nice thing to do, but it's not a sacrifice. And so that's when you tell the story of Shep and the fry, and you tell the story of you and your family with that thing, that generosity moment God gave to you, and you responded. I think God blesses those moments. He honors it, man.
Oh, absolutely. And can I just highlight the two ways that he has in our life?
Please.
The first way is with the avenue of the giving. Mm-hmm. Whether it's a person, an entity, or whatever the situation is, right. You can't even imagine the opportunities that the Lord will open up for you to speak about God's goodness and faithfulness in your own life to this person that you are being radically generous with.
Gosh,
okay,
that is,
but like obviously that's almost expected, but it just is such a tenfold experience doing that. The second way is it opens up in your own personal walk with the Lord this new little window to God's peace and to his grace and to his faithfulness and perspective. You know, we've kind of been on this theme of altars, and all of a sudden you think that this moment of radical giving is centered around whatever it is that you're giving.
The thing.
Right? Or whatever it is. But this little window that God opens up into your heart, all of a sudden you start thinking back to all the other things that people might have given you or that you've been the recipient of. Things that you've almost long forgotten, but all of a sudden the Lord will kind of at least he has for me, reintroduce to this little perspective of, you just before you think you're going to get on your high horse that you're some awesome Christian. Let me just remind you of all these incredible Christians that have come before that have blessed you. And and it's such a sweet experience. And so I just want to challenge anybody that's listening right now. Let's all step up our radical giving.
Yeah. And I tell you, man, thank you for that sermon on the side. And I love what you just said about the window that opens through which you can start getting a new perspective on things that have happened and God's goodness and faithfulness. Brother, phenomenal sermon on the side. Thank you so much. And I think we're all going to answer the call as you just described it. So, Brad, I'm going to keep you. So we're going to keep you on the hot seat, sir.
Come on.
Because we're going to let you do this segment.
I've got the segment.
Bring us a segment,
I've got it all tonight. Okay, so I keep saying tonight. I mean, this is technically day when we're recording this one, but who knows? What episode is this? 28?
28.
Okay, sorry, I got confused there for a second. Doesn't matter about the segment. Okay, we're talking a lot about vacation. We're talking a lot about travel. We're talking a lot about road trips.
Are we not? Yes.
Okay, so my question to you is, how do you road trip? Okay, that's the segment. How do you road trip? And the specific question about that is, when you have a long car ride, what are the things that you do? What are the tips and tricks or the things that you would do to occupy your mind on these long stretches?
Okay. Well, over the years, that's taken shape in a lot of different ways.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Currently, it's all about having a playlist. It's about having music and or podcasts to listen to.
Okay.
So me and my wife, when we get on a road trip, we do a lot of Darcy Frost.
Shout out.
Confetti.
Shout out to my Kiwis. House tomorrow.
Come on. And then we also, by the way, at Life Group last week, they brought me a kiwi and they cut it up as part of the fruit.
That's
samplings.
what we do in the South. Is everything is a food.
He said, because you have Kiwis now that listen to your podcast, here's some kiwi. It was cool.
I love it.
But anyway, so we listen to podcasts, sermons, songs, things like that. Because it's me and Rhonda, maybe me and Rhonda and my mother-in-law or brother-in-law, and we're just chatting and having a good time. When I was younger, as a kid, when we would go on long road trips in the back of the station wagon, green station wagon with the brown paneling on the side.
I hear you.
And we were playing games like license plates. Let's see how many license plates from different states.
Yes.
How many cars, different colors. All the games. And then when my kids were young and we were doing long road trips, we had things like portable VHS players or DVD players.
Whoa.
So they're watching movies.
Portable.
And this is even before they were part of the console of the vehicle. You had to get some sort of attachment, and you got it. With bungee cords, you've got a DVD player hanging from the ceiling of your car.
You take a left-hand turn, and everybody's head just leans over.
But, screens and whatnot. So my kids, I was just like, they had full entertainment the whole time.
I love it.
But those are the things. Now, I will say this, and I don't know if I'm driving and I'm afraid I might get drowsy and fall asleep, I use sunflower seeds to keep me awake. You know that's the thing?
I did not.
Yeah,
that makes sense, though, because you're like interacting with the sunflower.
Yeah, you put the sunflower seeds, a little handful of them on one side of your mouth, and you crack them open with your teeth and your tongue, and then you spit out the shell. Yeah, do it one at a time. So you have to have a cup to spit it out, or you're going to fill the car with
the way that you're describing sunflowers right now, sunflowers is like the master degree of snack. You have to be a highly educated person to... Yeah,
there's effort that goes into that.
There's a whole lot of... It's a multi-step process.
It just is. But anyway, that's how I road trip.
I love it.
That's a really boring answer.
No. I love it. And I resonate. As a child, I did a lot of the license plates from different states. We would do the alphabet game as it relates to signs outside, billboards. Yeah, you see a word that starts with the letter A, and then you're on to the letter B, and nobody can double stack. And it's whoever gets the early lead inevitably gets caught up when you get to like the Q's and the X's and whatever.
God help us all.
Yeah.
Right?
But yeah, with 3 kids under 5, Coach, come on. There is no road tripping. There's driving as long as you can until someone has to go potty or feed or whatever.
It is a battle for survival. Hey, can you go back to when you were a kid? And how did the tension between you and your sister Allison go on a long road trip? Were you guys annoying each other? Were you physically accosting each other? Were you good travelers together? And yes, Allison, we need to hear your side of the story as well. But Brad, anything to say?
I'm going to say D, all of the above. Okay. Just depends on what time you caught us.
Ooh, boy.
There were inevitably times where he's poking me. She's on my side of the car, and then of course there were times where I'm sure we're good kids, but I would probably need my mom to confirm that.
Your mom and your dad to chime in.
Yeah, we do.
These things,
We need some
for sure.
We need some accountability here to make sure I'm telling the truth.
Now, since our sermon on the side for this episode is not going to generate tell us stories,
right?
This segment we need some stories from this.
We need
segment.
how do you road trip? Is it playlist? Is it car games? Mm-hmm. Is it stops along the way? You know,
that's it.
I love it.
Also, throw in there something as a callback to a previous episode where I think I told that my son Bryce had a phrase. I guess I want to hear from our listeners when the passengers in your car are tired of sitting. What do they say? Do they just scream bloody murder? My son Bryce used to say, "Daddy, my bottom is getting grumpy." Do you remember me telling that?
Yeah.
That was his thing. My sister
awesome.
Laura reminded me that my phrase that I would yell to my parents is, "I have fanny fatigue." I have got to get up and walk around. So that would be cool to hear from our listeners.
I would love it. Yeah, let us know.
How do you let everybody in the car know that you've got to stretch your legs?
I love it. Well, hey, I hope you enjoy the rest of your vacation.
Mm-hmm. And I hope your trip to Daytona Beach goes well next week.
We'll be talking to you from Daytona next week. Not really. We did all this ahead of time. But that'll be when we release it. So anyways, hope you guys have an awesome week. Shout out to July, which this is the last day of July.
See ya,
what
July.
an awesome month we had. I'm just going to kind of speak this into existence.
Mm-hmm. Come on now.
It was our biggest month yet.
Ever.
Like it was the most interactions, the most listens, the most downloads.
Yeah.
So onward and upward from here. But thank you guys for an awesome July.
Thank you.
Anyways,
best listeners ever. And we will talk to you guys next Thursday for another episode of
Sermons on the Side. See y'all then.
So, anyway.
Oh, low.
So,
okay, no, I think especially since we're talking about that'll be perfect.
But
so you want me to ask you that?
I ask you. I mean, no, I was just going to bring it up. And all I'm going to do is tell stories about what I did when the kids were young, what I did when I was, it's just from any part of your life.
Let me ask you, since I'm bringing the sermon on the side, I'll bring you the segment, but I also have something that I can pick.
Absolutely. Okay. Hey, and I also thought about, with us recording these in advance because we're going to be out of town, and it's going to be 15 days of not seeing each other when we've been in this rhythm of spending quality time like every week, at least once a week. And so that's why I'm sitting here. That's why we're laughing so much tonight during these recordings. Is because
I'm going to miss my friend.
Where's Brad?
He already called me.